Hello and welcome to this Channel 1 TV special. My name is Benjamin Nketia. Today I will be talking to my good friends from Right to Dream Academy. They have new leadership and we'll be finding out exactly what the plans are for the academy. You know, Right to Dream has been associated with excellence for quite a while. On my first visit to Right to Dream, I was literally in awe of the ambience and the facility and exactly what they were doing. Kudus Mohammed is flying the flag these days. Kamaldeen Suleimana has come out of those ranks as well. Mohammed Abu, David Akam, they have quite a number of players from the academy. They combine education with football, and so we'll be getting into the discussion with Tony Mamodaly. He is a former Malagasy footballer or national and also a Bundesliga player. He's these days thriving in the technical field. I'll be asking exactly how he transfers or crosses that. Tony, welcome to this particular Channel 1 TV special.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I mean, before we even get to all the Right to Dream stuff, just a little background about you. Tony Mamodaly, Technical Director, Right to Dream, sounds very nice, but tell us a little bit about how you've come to that point. Where did you grow up, or were you born, and all of that?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's important, especially in the context of this role, to start at the very beginning. My dad is from Madagascar, so I got to spend the first couple years of my life going back and forth between Germany and Africa. And my dad transitioned back in the days when it's in the late 70s, early 80s, when there were no real pathways for African players to end up in Europe. He basically took a leap of faith and just went out on his own, with only equipped with a big dream of one day getting a better life on the other side of the world. And he eventually ended up playing for Montpellier in France in Ligue 1. Which basically taught me, as growing up as his son, that if you really want to pursue your dreams, you have to go for it. You have to make sacrifices. But at the same time, and this is why I'm referring to that, is that I also understand that in Africa we never just play for ourselves, but we play for our families and the communities behind it. And so built on this fundament, my personal background, I've got to play in Germany. I got to grow up in the academy ranks in Hoffenheim, and eventually, when I tore my ACL and patella tendon at the age of 20, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise, to be honest, I got to study and play football in college in the United States. Got to get a degree, which turned my life upside down to a positive. And I've been...
What was that degree in?
Yeah, so I did a bachelor's and an MBA.
Okay.
And I founded my own agency back in 2015, really based on my own experiences, trying to help released academy players in Germany find alternative pathways at American colleges and universities in the US. And from that position out, I ventured into one of the leading sports and entertainment agencies in Miami. And worked at the intersection of MLS and the Bundesliga. And then in 2019, I got the chance to join TSG Hoffenheim as head of international operations. And that role basically prepared me for what I'm doing now with Right to Dream.
I mean, you sound like you've been around the block in a very short space of time, done a lot of interesting things, done a lot of door-opening things. I like that for you. How does that bring or that fuse in with the Right to Dream job right now, because it's a new job to you, bringing your experience as a former footballer and also as somebody who's worked in the sports agency business? How does that help you launch into the Right to Dream job as a technical director?
Yeah, I think most importantly, it allowed me to look at the game from different perspectives, and most importantly, understand that the human being is at the core of it. And so that the footballer and the talent that we work with is always at the heart of everything that we're trying to do. And obviously being in different positions and different stakeholding positions in the game has hopefully equipped me with the right attitude and mindset to understand the responsibility that we have.
I mean, Right to Dream produced some of the most talented attack-minded footballers we've seen in this country, especially in the last couple of years. When you come in as a technical director, what are your immediate priorities? Are you trying to, let's say, put your own imprint on things right away? Are you trying to mesh with what they do? What is that like for you?
No, I would say that the most important thing is that we make sure that we preserve the essence of the organization.
Okay.
Right to Dream has always been a special place because of the people that built it.
Yeah.
And so it's highly advisable for anyone coming in to respect that environment and to make sure that this environment and the people that help turn this environment into what it is today are preserved and protected. And so I'm really coming in very humble, obviously equipped with my own experiences, but respecting the environment that we are, and then trying to look at some smaller things that can be adjusted to the better. But most importantly, to make sure that we keep on creating development opportunities for both the talent on the field as well as the talent off the field.
Now tell me about how the academy benefits from having somebody who's been in the Bundesliga ranks and also with the Madagascar national team get to benefit, because that's always a big strategy for Right to Dream. They don't just pick people. I know that before they picked you for this job, they would have looked at your background, they would have looked at things you've done. How does it rub off on the players and the academy in general?
Yeah, I would say it's, especially you have to look at the high level picture or the big picture, so to say. And Right to Dream, as you are aware of, has grown quite tremendously in the last couple of years with the addition of FCN in Denmark, then Egypt obviously, and then San Diego in MLS. I think to bring in the ability to look at complex relationships from different cultural with different cultural backgrounds is one of the strengths that I can bring to the table. While at the same time having my own background in Africa, understanding the culture here on the ground, and making sure that everybody here has the opportunity to grow and flourish as an individual. And then obviously the playing background helps in contextualizing what's needed to play at the highest level.
Tell me about what it takes to get into Right to Dream as far as Tony is concerned, because a lot of the questions people ask me is, how do you get into Right to Dream as a person? I always tell them, you just need to be really talented, but that's just me. From your standpoint as a technical director, how do you get in? What are you looking for in youngsters that will be recruited to the academy, both on the pitch and off the pitch?
Sure, we are looking at exceptional talent. Personally, I like to look at the 4 Ps. So purpose, passion, principles, and perseverance. If you look at these characteristics, you bring something to the table that is going to make you successful in anything that you do, and which is, especially in the context of Right to Dream, that's not only developing players for the Champions League, but just as much for the Ivy League. I think it's something that's a rare skill set of attributes that some of the people that we are fortunate enough to work with bring to the table.
Talk to me about maintaining the gender diversity of Right to Dream, because you guys don't just recruit like young guys, you recruit young ladies as well. You even recruit people who end up becoming coaches. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's what I love about the model, and which is also what attracted me to come to this place. Is that it's equally a good fit for both men and women, and especially looking up the opportunities that football can actually unfold, and the impact that it can have on human beings is especially interesting for women. We have a great example at the moment with Safi, who's 15 years old, who's currently training with FCN in Denmark, and who's already one of the best players on the team. And then if you look at the flip side of the coin, which is something that's not in our control, but which are really basically or based on the guidelines and regulations from FIFA, is that this is a player that has to wait 3 more years until she can actually make the next step, because she's not allowed to technically transfer to Europe or even to the US, because FIFA guidelines don't allow it. But then if you look at especially the upsides on the women's side, is that she has the opportunity to go to high school and to college, get a very valuable degree at one of the best universities in the world, and then actually has a chance to get drafted into NWSL, which is one of the best leagues in the world on the women's side. And if you look at where she's actually coming from, I think that's just an amazing pathway. And to be here, to be able to help build these pathways and to make sure that our players are protected is a very fulfilling job that I'm super grateful for.
Just finally, talk to me about bringing a culture of excellence to the coaching staff, because I feel like the players that come out of your academy as a result of the type of coaching staff you have. So talk to me about the coaching staff, the players, fostering excellence between those, and then creating, like you rightly pointed out before, a pathway to your partners, Nordsjælland, and also to the MLS.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and it's it perfectly describes also the environment that Right to Dream has created. Is that we break down the talent word and we define it in a way that it's not just the player on the field, but it's also the coach and the people in the background that are working to create this unique environment. And if you look at the pathways that some of the coaches that have built this place, whether that's Otoado, who's with the national team now, whether that's Jimmy Traoré, who's now with AS Monaco, or even Derek Boateng, who's now going to San Diego FC. Yeah. These are some incredible success stories. And so for us to really make sure that we keep on bringing the best and brightest people, and at the same time ensure that there's upward mobility within the organization is one of the most important tasks that we have as an organization.
Tony, thank you very much, and I want to say congratulations again on your role as Technical Director of Right to Dream. Welcome to Ghana again, and we wish you all the best.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So you heard Tony Mamodaly. He is the Technical Director of the Right to Dream Academy. That's it for this Channel One TV special. We'll catch you another time.